inside of you. From a point where you existed in the universe. You were part of the magnetic forces that grew the universe. This was the point where the deity men that you see a statue of with an erect phalanx, and that same principle is talked about as the deity Atum. Atum as the undifferentiated one, right? Got tired of his inactivity and then spat forth. There was an ejaculation from an explosive orgasm. And you say, okay, well, hold on. I can't accept those teachings right there because you're talking about somebody masturbated and created the universe. That's the way it's written. For those that have an overstanding would be able to see how it's talked about. That's encoded. We wrote those things in code for them fools that's going to be following behind us to try to figure out what these mysteries of the universe. Mystery, my story, our story. We wrote it down that way, but we were the alchemists. We were the chemists. We knew how it actually took place. We was incorporating in vitro fertilization, embryo implant techniques to be able to bring about existence. So we started from that point in the universe and then moved from that point to grow things. That means it slows up in mood and vibration to become physical. We're talking about emotional energies. Emotion. Energy in motion. It's housed inside of you. That you keep it confined when you just look at yourself as, well, I just have a physical body, I have a spirit and a soul. And if you was to look that up in English, you would see that spirit and soul is used interchangeably. But there's 9 parts of your, there's 6 other parts, 9 altogether, of your being that you need to be made aware of when the galactical energies from the center of the galaxy hits the planet. It's going to travel up the spinal column. And you're being exploded in awareness right now. That's 2012. It's going to prepare you for when the vortex opens. All of these are time frames that we were aware of before the lost records of time took place. Now, before the Earth tilted on its axis, there was a precise measurement of time. Precise measurement of time, meaning that when the Earth tilted on its axis, everybody's leaning. And the flow of the rivers, the only one river that's flowing in the right direction is the Nile River. When it was perpendicular, all of the other rivers flowed in that same direction. And it affected us. It affected our ability to calculate the celestial bodies. So there was 1,000 moments from midday to midday. 1,000, it was precise. The period of the flooding, the inundation of the Nile, we refer to that as a season as a chet. A chet. And in that season, it went from a 4-month period, and it was precisely done at the exact same time. Now, because nature is natural nature, that means nature has a nature. That means through time and age, non-ether, the highest of all the numbers, and we're etheric beings. Some will refer to ether as the oversoul. Right? The soul would serve as a tool by which the spirit would be able to advance to higher domains. Every being walking the planet does not have a soul. Did you know that? Yeah. Everybody doesn't have a soul. And they are looking to steal your soul by sharing yourself with them, communicating, breathing in. And they are able to share that part of your energies, the point that you're going to need to be able to advance into higher moods of vibration. Does that mean those people that are void of souls, that means that they cannot activate or enjoy a spiritual life? Yes, they can. But that's only from the physical plane to the plane of force to the spiritual plane. The plane of force is the nutrients that you get from eating an apple. The plane of force is what's going to move us into a time frame of depression in the next couple of weeks. You're automatically going to get depressed when it's going to start getting cold. And we was aware of that based on the cycles. So we talked earlier about there's two cycles we call day and the shadow hour, wrongfully referred to as night. But there's another cycle that occurs on a yearly basis. The seasonal change, how the seasons will be affected. So we're coming into death. We was aware of that. What do I mean by death? When the winter comes, the birds leave. When the winter comes, the grass stops growing. When the winter comes, the leaves on the trees, they fall off. That's a period of death. That is a cycle within nature. We were once in tune with that nature, and we knew where to be at that particular time. We knew that we had to work during the summertime and store up nuts during the wintertime. Because nothing's growing, that's the time of death. So the science of Nuwapu, teaching that there's three creations, overstand natural nature, that through time and age, non-ether, which is a combination of all existing gases, is going to give way to six ether forces, which eventually will give way to death. But don't be alarmed, because it will resurrect again. So you have an evolutionary cycle and a revolutionary cycle. And we knew where to be, what to do in each one of these cycles. And these are the things that the master teacher in this day and time is bringing to our awareness. These are the things why it's important to walk with him, not follow him. Walk with him because you're a God. Walk with him because he's going to give you the ability to take responsibility in nature. How we can come together and reverse the negative energies that's abundant on the planet right now. We can change that forces of energy. It first has to start with you and your personal universe. All you have to do is first to be aware that these cycles do exist. These cycles do exist every year, every day. Now that's something that we know. But there's another cycle that occurs that is very difficult for us to calculate, because we can see based on the 24 hours a day, which is based on 6 now. So this is a time frame that was used in order for us to calculate time. Time is an illusion in and of itself. The only thing that matters is right now. Tomorrow never comes, and yesterday is a continuation of today. Just because you went to bed and you woke up when the position of the earth changed, and from the shadow hour to where the position that you are on the earth is facing the sun, you think, oh, it's a new day. No, you're still flowing from yesterday. But because of the illusion in the definition of time that we're relying on English-speaking people to give us, right? That time is a sequence of events, or time is a point in which sequence of events can flow in apparently irreversible succession from past to present to the future. It's giving us the impression that time is in motion when time surrounds us. And energy expands from a point of singularity. So we're talking about existence now, and we're talking about why you need to be prepared for 2012, what's going to take place. But these are all the things that we were supposed to have an understanding of. So in that, what we call a day, based on 6, whether you calculate the smallest measure of time to the largest measure of time, it's based on 6. What is 6? 6 ether. It's pulling on non-ether. It's an evolutionary force, and you are non-ether beings. So the time frame that they use to calculate is adverse to life that non-ether is coming into. So therefore, time, whether you're dealing with moments, whether you're dealing with seconds, whether you're dealing with minutes, hours, day, months, years, it's all based on 6. And when we use the 24-hour time system, it should be an exact. We have no means to recalibrate the missing moments in the day. It's precisely 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 6 seconds. We have no means to recalibrate those missing moments. There has to be another means to be able to calculate those missing moments if you are etheric being and